New York is one of the most expensive cities in the entire world, but this is America, and somehow it's the only place alongside like fucking Lithuania and China who don't really give a shit about football. So I'm hoping this means I can find some hidden sporting gems in the thrift shops here in
New York City.
The aim of the game is to see if I can find any shirts which are cheaper than I can find online, giving me a hypothetical potential profit. Is football shirt shopping in real life even worth it anymore, or should you just never bother going into that bloody shop and looking about? Sorry, Cancer Research UK. Shit, mate. Now, I was supposed to do a Central American version of this very video as well, but in the two biggest thrift shops in the wonderful country of Guatemala, I only found a USA cap for £1.20, a Deportivo Cruz Azul 2021 Campeones cap for £2.60,
I've got a gigantic fucking head, by the way, if you can't tell.
and strangely, a hat that said, no women, ma'am, and also somehow a Team GB polo shirt. The country was also absolutely riddled with fake Guatemala shirts. It was actually harder to buy a real one, so this is the one I bought, and this is what it's supposed to look like. This was the most accurate one I could possibly find. But at least the tuk-tuk guy who drove me had a Barcelona-themed tuk-tuk, so that's pretty cool. That kind of counts, doesn't it?
Right, everyone, I am, for some strange reason, in New York. Concrete jungle and hopefully cheap football shirts. I'm a little bit alarmed because I've just paid $15 for breakfast, a coffee and the world's smallest sandwich. We're off to a TJ Maxx because they call it a TJ Maxx here and not a TK Maxx. That's our first port of call for the first two shops, and then we've got some interesting ones after. Let's go have a little look. Got a little, is it Pumas? Pumas training top, I'd imagine. $13. It's a good start. Don't want it though. Chile Copper America Conmebol. I wouldn't buy it, but I would not see that in England. What on earth is that? What could that possibly smell like? Honestly, quite happy with the first look. That's the equivalent of TK Maxx, and whilst it had a lot less, because we're in America, it had some different stuff. And a Pumas training shirt for $13 feels pretty cool to me, but there wasn't much. It was mainly American baseball tat, to be quite honest. Stuff that I don't think anyone here would buy either. We're now off to the second TJ Maxx. First up, we've got a Messi branded hoodie for 15 quid, but that's about the same online, so there's nothing in that. And then we have two PSG hats coming in at £6 each, which are almost like 20 quid online. A tasty bit of pretend profit. There's also a Nike Kenya hat, which I cannot find online, and I think it might be for running, but it's kind of football panel shaped underneath, so who knows. It's pretty cool though.
Cha-ching.
Not as good as I hoped. It's pretty cool seeing some PSG stuff in there. Only $8 as well, which is funny because they're a big, fashionable, pristine club, but they're actually fucking shit. Fuck off. Apart from that, it was quite disappointing. Not as I was quite hopeful after the first TJ Maxx, but the second one kind of stunk. We are now off to Times Square to go into Pelle Soccer, claiming to be the greatest soccer shop ever, which I fear, much like his goal tally, it's just a bunch of bullshit. But let's find out. I am in Times Square, and it's like you're trapped inside a dodgy football stream, and you don't have ad blocker, and you can't click the X. It's a fake X, and all of a sudden there's another fucking advert in your face. It's a really surreal place. It's like Piccadilly Circus, but on mega steroids. It's a pretty cool big screen, but it doesn't have the football on it, so I don't give a shit. Pelle Soccer is here, which feels alarming. I feel like it's going to be really expensive and really shite. But let's have a look. They've got some good stuff in here. A lot of current shirts. Current MLS shirts. If that had like an Adidas or a Nike badge on the left of it, I would get that. That is beaut. I feel like I've committed to LA Galaxy as my MLS team. Ah, some shirts are good, some are Tottenham. That makes sense. That makes sense. I love West Ham, but I'm slightly confused by how that's managed to make the cut. They've got all the new MLS kits, all at $100 US. What's that, like 80 quid, 90 quid? I don't know if that's good. It feels okay. Where are the stars? Where are my 6 stars or 5? Sickening. That's really... Where are my stars? I want my... That's why they were my favourite. If they don't put them back on, I'm going to switch teams.
This sick River Plate third shirt is somehow impossible to buy online in the UK, so I now regret not buying it. They then had this specific retro rail, which was really weird. An intershirt with a bloke called Zé Elias, who was a Brazilian geezer who made 33 appearances for them in the late 90s, which of course means it should be 272 bloody quid. A 2010 horrible looking Sao Paulo shirt for £172, an Ajax 96-97 shirt for £168, which is slightly cheaper than the mint one from Classic Football Shirts, a Germany 2014 home shirt for a casual 180 quid. That's literally only 10 years old. That's insane. It's like £40 online here. It didn't even say match worn or anything. Mental. This, however, is a match-worn Sao Paulo 2001 goalkeeper shirt, which is one of the craziest shirts I've ever seen. It was somehow misidentified as being from the 2020s, but it was also 483 fucking quid. Now this is a 2019-20 match-worn PSV shirt from this fella called Trent Sainsbury, an Australian bloke who made 6 appearances for them, but only 1 appearance in 2019-20, which means this is that exact shirt, which obviously means it's worth 734 quid. What? You might have a hard time shifting this one, Pelle, mate. They also had all the Mexican League shirts for more human prices. I was very tempted by the Tigres shirt, but I am a stingy bastard.
Cha-ching.
That was surprisingly pretty good, especially it's in such a touristy area. I thought I was going to be like bummed to death by just absolute shite. It was actually really good, and there's only a tiny bit of the entrance about Pelle really in the hallway, and after that it was just a normal, quite a good sports shop. Definitely worth a visit though if you come to New York. It's right on Times Square. Now we're off to Saturday's Football, which is a specific retro football shirt, and there's 2 stores, and this one is in the Rockefeller Center or building or place, I don't know, tower maybe. Pretty much everything's a tower here, so you don't really need to write tower. Well, I've somehow found an ice rink, and I think the building behind me is the Rockefeller Center, but I don't quite know how you get in. Is it like a Debenhams? Is it like a big thing where you can go in and there's loads of shop? Like a Southampton Westfield or Westquay or Stratford Westquay? Is it a shopping centre? I'm so confused. I think this is where they film really famous shit, but I don't know, because unfortunately Jimmy Fallon and all those shows are just a bit cringe to us, and that's not an attack, it's just the truth. It doesn't feel very magical. That is a very promising start. Beautiful little Oasis t-shirt, and I don't even like Oasis, but that made me like it. Right, it was kind of hard to film in there because it was so quiet, but it was really, really nice shop. They had things from like a Dedrick Boyatic Celtic shirt, a Motherwell shirt, a City Stuart Pearce era sort of training shirt. They had a Schalke shirt in there, $90 for like a 2017-18 sort of one. That one was a little bit expensive, but some of the other ones were actually really good prices. The guy seemed really nice. I overheard him saying he supports someone from Ecuador, so I believe he's from, and I'm pretty sick. So if you're here, go check it out. But also, There's another one, which is apparently bigger.
Now, next up was a shop called Burlington, which is essentially an end-of-line shop, a bit like a TK Maxx, which was very effective for me in the UK. So that was my main hope on this trip.
I mean, it says sportswear, so you'd fucking hope. I feel relatively confident. It feels more extensive than a TJ Maxx. But let's find out.
Fucking shite. Absolutely shite. This is some weird fake Mexican unbranded jumper thing. This is a pair of blue Adidas shorts with no badge on, but I guess they're football shorts. And then this is a fake USA national team top. Awful. Well, they had a Liverpool football for £7. So, yeah. What a bargain. What an absolute bargain. Don't bother going to Burlington's and having a look. Sickeningly bad.
Right, I feel like I've just been cut. It looked like there was gigantic sports rails, and there was technically, but just absolutely fuck all there. They didn't have MLS stuff. They had fake Mexico and fake USA national team stuff. So I'm binning off the second Burlington's. We're going to a Marshall's, which is down the road, which is the one which is owned by the same people as TJ Maxx. So I'm hoping there is something in there. I am begging. We've hit the jackpot. There is fucking loads. Oh, thank God. Thank God I finally found something.
This gorgeous Portland Timbers 2022 away shirt. An Austin FC 21-22 home shirt, which was sadly in a bloody 3XL, you little porkers. A Portland Timbers 2021 away shirt. A New York City FC 2022 away shirt, which was brutal on the eyes, but I quite liked it. A Seattle Sounders 2022 home shirt. A Philadelphia Union 2022 away shirt. And a Real Salt Lake 2016 home shirt. Now, only the Seattle Sounders and the Portland Timber away were in my size and tickled my fancy, but the Seattle one just didn't fit nicely at all, probably because of that bloody V-neck. But the pink Portland Timbers with the roses ting, yes, I will have it. Finally, we have our first purchase in this series, and I am buzzing. Now, the badge is not perfectly centered, which is a little bit odd, but the kit is definitely real, so yeah, fuck it, I bought it anyway.
The sun is setting, finally. I've been out all day, and it's about 5 p.m, and I finally have a fucking football purchase. Buzzing with it. Don't know if you could possibly make any profit on it. I assume very much not. But I have a shirt, and that's all that matters. I'm annoyed the Austin one wasn't in a normal human size, like a large and not 3XL, because that was by far the tidiest of the bunch. I'm now off to the second Saturday's football. It's about a 40-minute walk because my bank card won't work on the underground here, and I can't be asked to buy a Metro card. I need the steps after eating like complete shit for 4 days here. I did 20 kilometers yesterday, almost a half marathon. It's good for you, but it does take up half the day.
Now, the second Saturday's football shop was worth a look if you're knocking about, but you just won't get bargains in specialist shops anymore. They had the exact same Seattle Sounders shirt for 55 quid, where it was literally just £23 in Marshall's.
I'm all about the TK Maxx's. Long live TK Maxx. Seems to be a good place to go all around the world. Who would have thought? Not me.
So next up was a couple generic vintage shops in Manhattan, where I found a 2007 Zenit St. Petersburg shirt for just £23, and then an Argentina 2010 away shirt for just 15 quid. That is some serious bargain having, but neither officially tickled my fancy enough to buy them myself. Now, I thought I was done. The day was over, but I couldn't resist one last TJ Maxx / Marshall shop. A DC United 2021 away shirt, a Columbus Crew 2020 away shirt, and a DC United 2020 home shirt. This takes our potential profits skyrocketing for New York up to a whopping 491 smackaroonies. So if you ever see a TK Maxx, a TJ Maxx, or a company owned by either one of those two, get yourself in there, lad. That's where the gold is. Don't forget to subscribe. I've been your boy Kieran, and thank you.